My favorite thing about this picture is that there is this little swivel hinge mounted to the side of the monitor that is clipped onto a piece of paper. What's on that piece of paper? Do you still have the piece of paper? And why is it clipped onto the monitor? I can't imagine a scenario where I'm like, you know what? I just don't have any space for a piece of paper. Let me just mount it to the side of my monitor. What was the thought process that led to that? I may never know. All right, listen up, because today we're not only going to be judging some of your nappiest and scrappiest stream setups that we've seen, but we're also going to be giving out some crowns because you are all kings and queens. That's a lie. 3 of you are kings and queens because we're going to be giving out 3 crowns today. But before I do, I'd like to give a thank you to the sponsor that you all know and love, Owned.tv. Longtime sponsor of the channel. We're very much appreciative for what they've done for us. And as you all know, they are your one-stop shop for all your stream aesthetic needs, whether it be overlays, alerts, panels, whatever you need, they've got you covered. Plus, every overlay is modular. So if you and all your friends pick out this dark mode overlay that you're looking at right now, none of you are going to have the exact same overlay because you can pick and choose the different pieces that you'd like. So if you'd like to make the smart move like many from the community have done, feel free to use the link in the description below, pick up an overlay, and make sure you use code alpha for, I'm going to check this time. 1 second. Owned.tv coupon code alpha. Oh, it's 50. I've been saying 40%, 50% off. Use code alpha, get 50% off. Also, by the way, if you use the link in the description below, it actually supports the channel. So get 50% off, support the channel, get an awesome overlay. That looks like a win all around to me. But look, I tweeted something out this week. I asked if any of you still had pictures of your very first original janky bubblegum and scotch taped together stream setup. I thought I would get a couple responses. I don't have any pictures of my original stream setup. How many of you possibly could? 900, by the way. 900 of you possibly could. So let's take a gander at some of the scrappiest gamers on the planet, and I mean that with the utmost sincerity. And then I'm going to give out 3 awards as follows. Award number 1 will be the unnecessarily expensive setup. This is for gamers similar to me, who probably could have built the exact same size audience with a quarter of the budget, but you just couldn't help yourself. You went above and beyond. You went and got the best of the best, even when you didn't need it. What can I say? We just can't help ourselves. And number 2, the second award will be the Dungeon Master for the greatest glow up I can find. Who amongst these gamers has created a space worth locking themselves in and isolating themselves from the outside world because it is such a beautiful place to sit in? And the last award is for those of you who started streaming in an absolutely disgusting, rats nested, Cheeto infested mess of a stream setup, but managed to claw their way out into something beautiful today. Because it's not called a garbage can not. It's called a garbage can. So this is the Garbage Can Award. Let's take a look at number 1. Already such an interesting site. There's so much in here to unpack. First of all, let's look over here at what looks like a phone stand, but it's really wide. So I don't think it's for phones. Maybe it's for an iPad, but it's got a GoPro strapped to it with hair scrunchies. And on this side, we've got his ring light, which I think is connected to this thing, which is held in place by the loving tentacles of a shop vac. What is happening over here? See, when I say scrappy, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's got his grandmother's old chest over here, which really ties the room together. And most importantly, he's got one of the best USB mics you can grab. This whole setup looks like it was built by 3 different people, but I love it so much. This person only spent money on what was necessary. Like, this is the biggest bang for your buck setup you can possibly find. Absolutely nothing unnecessary in here. This is an affordable microphone with incredible software. It's like a budget Go XLR. And then this is the GoPro that we've made a video on. You can get an old used GoPro. I'm curious if this person got it used. Connect it to a cheap cam link or even a regular cam link, and it's going to be cheaper than a high-end webcam and look 10 times better than one. Serious props for this setup. So much respect going on here. The underlighting is going to look a little bit weird though. Not just with like an underglow that makes you look super creepy, but also the shadow from this. So all in all, maybe move this around a little bit, but other than that, very impressed. All right, we got a 4-parter here. Looks like he's telling us a story which starts from a very interesting place. I love that he couldn't manage to move his shoes before he took the picture. But I'm trying to figure out how this works. At first, I thought maybe he just moved this over here for lounging and then he moved the mouse and keyboard back up onto the desk. But you can see the monitor is on the edge of the desk. This looks like a controller though. So I'm going to assume that this isn't for gaming. This is just for controlling the stream. And then he's got the controller for gaming so you can play laying down. The advantage of playing console. Maybe he's playing controller on PC and he's kicking everyone's trash in Apex Legends. Not that you have an advantage playing on controller or anything. Definitely not. But as we upgrade, you can see he got a desk. That is an upgrade. He also has a new Xbox and a PC that's seen better days. And also a desk that's seen better days. I mean, really an upgrade that's seen better days, if that makes any sense. And here's where it starts looking nice. This is now a legit setup. I don't think this is the same room, but I want to know if Dylan put this wall here because this is a nice touch. Like this looks like a relaxing spot to game at. The lighting is really nice and cool. It's not like really orange lighting. I appreciate putting my face here, probably trying to earn extra points. Not going to happen, but I do appreciate it. We end up here with a good, nice place to sit. I would call this the Dungeon Master, but I've got one that's just one step better than this. But solid setup, also very solid minimal setup. You can see he's rocking an Elgato Wave, great minimal microphone, still using a webcam, just a nice little simple desk, huge props, doing great. But let me, if I may, let me announce the first crown winner of this stream, the Dungeon Master. This is from Gaijinbu, who started with a very clean, a very humble beginning. I don't know where you find a room this small. Like, I don't think this is a closet. We have a window over here in the corner and there's no space for like clothes to hang up or anything. I'm very confused about what this room is. The width of a single, not even super wide desk. Please, Gaijinbu, tweet at me and let me know what in the world this room is. I mean, we got a nice SteelSeries mouse. We got a nice Corsair case. We got a nice Xbox sitting under a monitor, nice and clean. We got a good SAO background wallpaper, all good things. And then we have our final product, which I don't think I could organize this much paraphernalia into such an organized looking space if I was given an entire year. My room would be an entire mess. I would have some serious, I'm sure some of these are busty anime chicks. They'd be all over the floor. Not that I have any of those if my wife is watching this. But the fact that he's able to get all of this organized and still have so much empty space, just incredible. I can see myself hanging out here. And I needed to get away from the world, which is like 99% of the time. Gaijinbu, good work, man. My only complaint is that you have a cat instead of a dog. There's your final upgrade, just waiting for you. He's also incredibly handsome. Let's move on. Here we got a fun one. What in the world is this? This is a guitar amp? This is the after. And in the beginning, he set his keyboard on top of a skateboard. Currently, he sets his booty on top of a guitar amp, a bass amp. I promise I have a chair now. Okay, so this isn't current. It's just more current. This is an orange bass amp. This is not a sad bass amp. How do you have an orange bass amp and not a chair? He has a chair. He has a chair. All right, I'm going to stop judging this guy. This is ingenuity. It is laziness at its best. And I mean that in a good way, by the way. Lazy people find a way to be more efficient than others. Good work, Mike. You do you. Don't let anyone tear you down because you're sitting on a bass amp. So here we have ASMR Chris, who I can only assume is an alias for Harry Potter. My biggest concern with this one isn't the fact that it's under the stairs. This has to be so uncomfortable. Those legs aren't even. Is this broken? Is this supposed to be connected here? That looks like a nightmare. I wouldn't be able to stream for more than 30 minutes on this thing. And what's going on with this wall here? It looks like it's like thick poster board taped together, probably so it doesn't look like this. Maybe he's got his camera pointed this direction and he wanted to cover up the studs or the frame. You people impress me every day. And then of course the final touch that every streamer needs, WD-40, just in case your frames get like extra sticky, you know. I hate that. What do you say we crown our most unnecessarily expensive stream right now from Orange Juice, a verified user who I assume is able to do this because this is probably what they do for a living. We've got our before, which is already just full of a bajillion different size screens, which is fun. We got a MacBook, we got 2 monitors, we got an iPad, really getting scrappy with it. More iPads. Is that an iPad Pro? Monitor, MacBook, iPad Pro, the original iPad Pro, and a camera that I can't see because this image is JPEG'd out of its mind. Let's go to the current setup. Oh my goodness. I wish I could zoom in. Are these all cameras? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those can't all be cameras. Hold on. And then 3 more back here. And then another one right here. Let's play a little game that I like to call Count the Cameras. First of all, what content are you making here? Second of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like there's another one right here sneaking past me. Orange juice, if you see this, am I on? Are there 8 cameras there? What do you use all of those cameras next to each other for? I have to know. Please tell me. This is no judgment. I use 2 cameras literally right next to each other. So, I mean, it is what it is. Enjoy your crown or trophy or whatever Sam decides to design for this video. It's all yours, man. Well, here we got a weird one. I can imagine Sid here doesn't have a lot of guests over to his house very often or eat much because he's got his original setup on his dinner table. He's got lights. What is this on top of? It's in the middle of the kitchen. But my favorite part about this is that, I mean, like, we can laugh about the fact that he's got his gaming setup on his kitchen table all day, but are we going to acknowledge the fact that there is a soccer goal right behind it? I mean, it's your room and there's no rule that says the kitchen table can only be used for eating and the living room can only be used for non-soccer. So more power to you, but I know that there's no way you can bring over company without this being a conversation starter. What's he looking like now? Oh, that's very clean and no dinner table in sight. Props to you. Okay, this doesn't really fall into any of the categories, but it almost made me cry. We got a picture of a little kid here playing some game. I think it's Diablo based on the caption. This was my first real gaming setup. I played RuneScape on an old Gateway prior to this. You guys remember Gateway PCs? Their logo was like cow patterned. What was that about? Anyway, but I saved my $3 allowance every week for 2 years to buy this Dell computer and played Diablo. That breaks my heart. Good on this. Who is this? What's his name? Kona? Wait, what does he look like now? This is little Kona. What kind of man have you turned into, Kona? That is a man. That is a man amongst men who knows how to save his money for what he wants. I know you guys saw this. We're not touching that. Little Kona saving $3 a week. Just, oh my gosh. Whenever I have kids, I'm going to struggle. They're going to do things like that. I'm going to be like, I'll buy you whatever computer you want. Just pick one. I'll buy it for you. Let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. This is where we crown the garbage can. Who is our garbage can of the day? Let me show you. He is our friend, everyone's dungeon master, Ryzen Gaia on Twitch. For this specific reason, let's take a look here. The original setup. There's a lot to unpack. We have, from left to right, some gargoyle statue thing with a candle underneath it that I assume heats up whatever's on top of it. What looks like a tub of Play-Doh. We got an old flip phone, which looks like, you guys remember those old Sprint flip phones that everyone had? Hold on. There we go. This one. You know this guy? Do you guys remember this phone? Everybody I knew had this phone. I didn't have this phone. Everybody else did. It doesn't look like this is the exact same one, but Ryzen Gaia, is this a flip phone? I'm pretty sure it's a flip phone. We have what looks like a giant vape, maybe a TV remote that has been stashed upside down. Another vape? I bet you neither of these are vapes and I'm just really embarrassing myself right now. We got a whole Sony, some kind of entertainment system, maybe a DVD player with an accompanying, is this a speaker? They're both Sony. I assume they go together and I don't see any other speaker here. I have no idea what my NHD is. We've got CBD oil going on over here for when gaming gets a little bit too intense. I feel that. I get it. Something that got burned. Don't want to know. A microphone over here, which looks like Turtle Beach. Is this a Turtle Beach microphone? Does Turtle Beach make microphones? Hold on. Got to look up another thing. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's it. When did that thing come out? I should do a video on like OG streaming equipment just to see how far we've come. We've got on this very tall aspect ratio screen, we've got 2 notes. One says not performing the highest level of mediocrity. Is someone filling in the blanks better than me? If I'm an idiot and I can't figure out what that means and it's obvious, leave it in the comments down below. And then at the bottom, it just says be better. A nice little self-reminder. But my favorite thing about this picture is that there is this little swivel hinge mounted to the side of the monitor that is clipped onto a piece of paper. What's on that piece of paper? Do you still have the piece of paper? And why is it clipped onto the monitor? If you don't have it, please tell me what it is. I can't imagine a scenario where I'm like, you know what? I just don't have any space for a piece of paper. Let me just mount it to the side of my monitor. What What happened there? What was the thought process that led to that? I don't know. I may never know. But Ryzen Gaia, if you know, please tell us. And also, will you accept this crown? And has gone on to build a very respectable streaming space because he believed in himself. You are our garbage can. Congratulations, Ryzen Gaia. Oh, someone's gonna get mad at me because they're gonna skip the intro explanation to that one. And anyway, guys, here's what I want to know. If you're still watching at this point, how much did you enjoy this? Is this something you'd like to see more often? And I don't just mean judging streams, I mean streamer awards shows. Because while preparing this video, I went down a couple rabbit holes of ideas, and I thought, you know, it'd be fun is if we did this, and by this I mean awards shows. If we did some kind of award show like quarterly. Maybe one time it was a stream setup in a stream room. Maybe another time it's a clip of your stream, your favorite moment from your stream. Another time it could be your design and your animations and your logo, your branding, whatever. We could turn it into a thing and actually make real prizes, not just little graphics that Sam makes. Not that they're not great, but let me know. What do you think? Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure you go subscribe to my personal YouTube channel where I go live. Because if you didn't know, I actually just left Twitch earlier this month and I stream on YouTube now. And as always, happy streaming. Oh, and also I'm a dad.
Like healing. I am healing.
Hey, wait! Stop! No, don't shoot! Stop it! What?
Harris, you just ran me over.
No, I didn't.
Harris? Can you get me up?